that I worked for. And will just saying like enough hello, not even with an agenda per se. And just they know my work ethic, and all of a sudden, like one of them reached out to me and said, "Hey, I'm too busy right now to do this one project, this one startup, and like, do you want to see if you can engage them and help them out?" And so I'm like, okay, great. So
Great.
we'll see. So now I have to like come up with a pricing for it all, and
You know, you know, Stanford, I got a really serious question to ask you.
yeah.
Okay. How much have you been blocking this?
A part of me has been blocking it.
Uh-huh.
Part of me has been blocking it, but not like on purpose.
No,
It's
I know. I like this is not a conscious
no, no, no. I've been blocking it
choice. Hey,
only.
Ryan.
Yeah, yeah, no, no. The only like I've only been blocking it in the sense of I think I've been just exhausted from everything, from doing work.
I think it's just, it's like a deep-seated doubt.
Oh, it's still there. I mean, I'm still like having struggles of
So
sending
let's
out
get rid
my.
of it. I mean, because you can see, you just reach out and say hi to somebody and they, oh, hey, can you help me out with this? Like
Mhm,
that's all it takes, right?
mhm.
So listen, this is true for all of us. This isn't anything that's unique to you.
Oh, yeah,
So,
no, for sure. But
right?
you would think that I would know better a little bit, but apparently not.
No, no, but 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 let me explain something. This is why I speak in such extremes,
Hmm.
right? Like I know it sometimes I just sound nuts when I talk about the allowing and the things that we have to do. However, we have to very consciously step over anything that could possibly be in there that's blocking us. Like right now, for me, I want to sell my RV, and it isn't going well. In fact, I just tried to list it on Facebook Marketplace. I got fucking kicked out of there. They said that I was being deceitful and I'm banned from Facebook Marketplace. And I'm like, what the hell am I doing? But it's the same thing. I mean, I accept my full responsibility for getting kicked out of there, even though I certainly wasn't doing anything deceitful, but I did something that caused them to think it. And these are the things that come in and block us. Do you understand what I'm saying? You're muted.
I think some of it has to do with kind of having a situational blindness where
Sure,
I
sure.
don't know what I don't know, and I don't see what kind
Yep,
of value I have until I see it, kind of.
I
Um,
agree. I
and the
agree.
craziest thing is that majority of even throughout my life, majority of people that have done something for me or like reached out to me about some opportunity or something weren't my best friends, weren't the closest ones, weren't like the most I interacted with. Frankly, it's been people that have been kind of on the periphery that
Uh-huh.
don't really interact with me as much, but they see me in a different light, and
Yeah.
it's more useful. And so like I've had like that throughout my professional life for a while. And in this case, hopefully they'll take my proposal, and I can just like hop on and start doing some work and then getting some
Yeah.
recurring things.
Well, whether they do or they don't, the point I'm making here is that it's important to speak in these extremes so that, so that we're stepping over the blind spots that we have because we
Mhm.
have them. We all
Absolutely.
have them, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
And that's
absolutely. I
right,
mean,
Ryan. You get that, Ryan?
he doesn't have
Hmm.
any. He's resolved them all.
Perfect.
What are you hearing from this, Ryan? What you came in as we were talking. What are you getting from it?
I'm trying. I don't know. I'm trying to piece it together. I missed the beginning parts. I don't know what we're talking about, but um, Yeah, I was gonna keep on
No, I'm
listening.
just basically saying that like I reached out to somebody on LinkedIn, just kind of reposting a job that they posted. I used to work with this person like briefly in my last job, and I just reached out saying, "Hey, I just reposted your job, etc. Hopefully somebody gets it." And then we just kind of started talking. And then today he reaches out to me saying, "Hey, I have something like that. I'm in the company I'm currently being a contractor for. I don't have the bandwidth for this, this, or this, but do you want to take this other stuff over?" I'm like, "Sure." So I have a meeting scheduled and I have to write up a proposal, etc., and see if it sticks. So that would be
So
a
the
great
the
thing.
the
Hold
point
on.
I brought up was asking Stanford about how he's still blocking some of these things. And then I went into speaking about why I speak in extremes. So you hear my teachings as extremes because we're dealing with vibration. So it isn't, we've all got those blocks. We've all got blind spots. No one is immune to this. And if I look at like now wanting to sell my RV, I mean, I don't need to sell it, but I would like to. Uh, but it's, I just don't have any forward momentum on it. We just lost Ryan somehow.
Oops.
He must be
Maybe he
switching
just
to.
got disconnected or something like that. That's okay.
So, so that's why I'm always, here he comes. And that's why I'm always speaking in extremes, and we have to do everything we can to just allow the universe to co-conspire with us and get things taken care of, right?
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
get that, Ryan?
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, I got disconnected. My daughter was trying to call
Yeah,
me.
no problem. No problem. It's, but that's when we're dealing with vibration, vibration is just vibration. And if things aren't happening, and if you're feeling a little bit of uncertainty, regardless of where it's coming from, that's the time to journal. That's the time to do things that are going to push the energy over to the other side.
Hmm.
Take it, take it, take extreme,
Well, I
put
think the more comfortable I get with what I want to offer is what like the more even subconsciously I reach out to people. So,
mm-hmm,
I even reached out to somebody last week 'cause it's just somebody I knew through another contracting job, and um, I briefly engaged with him in business, and then he just vanished for like 8 months. And then I talked to him for a second because he didn't pay me for like 8 months, and then paid me all of a sudden like last year. And then he vanished again for another 8 months because he got so busy. And so then just today he calls me out of the blue. He was like, "Oh, how's it going? I need this, this, and this." I'm like, "Oh boy." But like if we could contact, I mean, if I do develop that relationship more, but like, oh boy. So it's kind of interesting that some of these people are coming out of the woodworks, but
well,
Way it works.
hopefully for the better.
you're right. That is the way it works. It's these crazy coincidences. It's like Ronnie and his website he was talking about last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where his cousin calls he hasn't talked to and says, "Hey, I'm going to start doing websites. You want me to do one for you?" That's what happens. This is the way it really works. It's the way it really works.
Mm-hmm.
Ronnie, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Sorry, just getting ready. I have family that came over, so I should probably only be 30 minutes today.
Okay. Okay.
But
What's new?
um work's been great. Signed a 1 year
Why?
contract,
Uh-huh. Good.
so that's exciting. And then I had a really cool meeting about an hour ago. Um so I had a TV appearance. I got
Right.
interviewed 2 weeks ago, and I met with the producer, and he pretty much said if I have an idea of a show to pitch, I could let him know, and they could run it on their channel. So I messaged my cameraman to let him know we may have an opportunity to have something on TV. Just got to think of an idea of what
Wow.
the show would be about.
What do you think it'll be about?
Probably similar things that I do, just more on a bigger
Uh,
level. Maybe
uh-huh.
interview like sport professionals and have like a theme or a certain type of messaging about like something inspiring and just kind of pushing forth the teachings that I do.
Huh.
So I have a question for you. How is
Yes,
it that you're creating and allowing all of these possibilities?
great question. I say
Because one thing you're doing
Mhm.
is your energy is a yes. Your energy is, do you know what I'm saying when I say
Yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah. I would say those.
See, Stanford, this is really right in line with what we were just talking about. You know, the possibility of a TV show, right? I mean, to some degree, it's like, oh, sure, Ronnie. But on the other hand, it's like, hey, this is a possibility. Let's take the next step, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the truth. So how is it that you're you've got that vibration so strong?
Mm-hmm. Um, these divine words that I read every day. I feel like I know I say this a lot, but it's really true.
Hey,
I
It's
listen,
knew
really
this too.
it works,
it really
right?
does. And one of my favorite one is integration. So when I'm saying it, I put those words into sentences and I always say like my programs and myself is showing integration in places that I can't imagine. And then
Wow.
I'll have like a crazy message and I'll say wow at first and then I remember that every single day I'm saying integration, possibilities, potential, abundance, and it's one thing to just say it and be like, wake up and say, I'm filled with abundance. But like you always tell us, like your energy really does matter, right? So I don't just say like I'm filled with abundance. Like I believe it. You know, there's a big difference in how
Yeah.
you say it because your heart is listening to you in a way. So like I say it with a certain type of conviction and with energy. So and it like boosts me up. Like it's weird how it happens, but when I say it out loud
Well,
and I say it with
see,
conviction,
Mm.
that believing it, Stanford, pay attention to this. That believing it that you're talking about, Ronnie,
mhm,
is you giving yourself permission to own it,
yes, I love
right? Do you
that.
get that, Stanford?
Yep,
That's the difference.
yep.
Give yourself permission, Stanford, to own that. Say those words like he does. He says one of the words and makes a sentence, and the sentence is an affirmation that steps towards creating something in his life. It's just creating possibilities.
Yeah.
Like that is so cool.
Yeah, that is
Thank
really
you.
God
cool.
damn, I mean, it works.
It does. It does. I keep going back to that, but I feel like it's made all the difference for me just saying those words every day because I see it showing up in real time.
Because I mean, you're you're just continually moving forward really rapidly, Ronnie.
Thank you, Bill.
Really, I wouldn't you agree? Does everybody agree with that?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
He's leaping forward, right? And there's the key right there. I challenge all of us to jump on that train with him.
It
Like it works.
does.
And it's just it's more for me it's this isn't about uh it's not from a survival standpoint. For me, it's more about playing games with the universe, challenging the universe. Okay, show me. Yeah, I'm doing it. Let's see, and just seeing what it comes in with. That to me is, putting that the challenge, so to speak, even, coming from a somewhat skeptical side, but you really got to own it when you say it because
Exactly.
it's easy to own it when you state that I'm in the process of creating this. but it's that physical speaking out of it.
Yeah.
Do you get that, Stanford?
Mhm.
This would make a huge difference for you, Stanford.
Mhm.
Just that, and you want to know something? It's 5 minutes a day in the morning.
Yeah.
That's all it
You
is
do.
you take those words, start picking them out, and just making sentences from them that support what you're doing, your expansion, believing in yourself. It's the sort of fake it till you make it.
Yeah, except in this case, it's kind of like it's not even faking it,
No,
because I know this, it's just getting to that stage again, because it's been
well,
a
it's
while also since I've
yeah,
done anything like this. I mean, I've been unemployed for a while, and so it's at least in my head, and so you're just kind of getting back into this phase, and also
well,
the universe showing me
yeah,
that it's the business side is where it's at for me, as opposed to
right,
getting back into corporate, which is just soul crushing. So
right,
that is what I appreciate.
yeah. And honestly, I think because of your backgrounds, uh, you have some much more deep-seated um beliefs that don't support you because of the culture, more
Mhm.
so than Ronnie, probably. And Ronnie's, the younger and
Mhm.
just you got two different life lesson paths because
Mhm.
you're a 26-8, right? Is that correct, Stanford?
Yep, I think
So
so.
that it's so the eight, Stanford, okay? The eight is about power and abundance.
Yep.
So I mean, this defines um those deep-seated energies that don't support you. By
Mhm.
the way, Jamie sent me a note. He said he'd be on it at half past the hour today. He had a meeting uh, where
Yep.
Ronnie was about lack of confidence, and his whole life lesson. He was a 2911, right, Ronnie? Isn't that correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and
2011.
11 is creativity and confidence, and it's twice the power, right?
Yes.
So, and with you, Stanford, that eight with power and abundance, when you look at what are some of the things when I say that you have a life lesson with power and abundance, Ryan, what do you think some of the things are that would block that if he's here to learn about power and abundance? Where do you think some of those issues would be?
Um, self-doubt, maybe self-belief, lack of
Uh-huh,
self-belief,
for sure. Yeah, yeah.
second guessing, too much in your head.
And
Um,
there would be deep-seated anger against people who are in control
yeah,
because he
jealousy.
wants to be in control, right?
Mhm.
You see how it works? And then the abundance is all of this shit costs you money, is the
Mhm.
bottom line with the abundance. It's like it's the belief you've got to struggle to work to make money.
Yeah, that's where that is. It's because
Is
it's
it's
been
the opposite of
reinforced.
power and abundance.
What's been reinforced throughout my life, and also seeing what
Sure.
my parents were doing, and my grandparents and everything. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
but
all
you have to
one freaking
understand
struggle.
they weren't doing it, you were.
Mhm.
Your perception of it was that they
Mhm.
they could have been playing tiddlywinks, but your perception of it would have still been the same, right?
Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
you've got those blinders on. So
Mhm.
this is why those affirmations are so important because I'm not as concerned about what's blocking you. I'm more concerned about how you can jump over it. Well,
Mhm.
let's figure it out later, but let's do what Ronnie's doing and just leapfrogging over the problems and landing stuff.
Yep.
Does that
And
make
he's just going for it, so that's great.
but in your case, it's all statements that really support power and abundance
Mhm.
is
Mhm.
what you want to do. You just keep because it'll change it. It's like what Ryan was doing with his. Ryan was doing it a little different than Ronnie, but virtually getting the same results, right, Ryan?
Yeah, I mean, using ChatGPT to turn the words and life lessons into short story has been game changer for me. I've experimented with a few different versions, and I've settled on one I really like, and I read it every morning religiously. Actually, crap, I didn't do it today, but normally I do. So I'll have to do it later. But yeah, it's been a game changer for me. I really get a lot out of it.
So it's like going into the gym and you have weak legs and you're just doing exercises to strengthen that that one part of you. You really go after where it matters the most, and that's what it is for you, Stanford.
Hmm.
Do you read your
What do
life
you?
lessons, Stanford, or no?
Yeah, now I do. Yeah,
How long have you been doing it for?
a week.
Okay.
Good,
All right.
good.
Starting.
Are you still reading the AI version of your story?
Yeah, it works for me actually more because it's just that's
Yeah,
it's
yeah. I
it's more of
mean,
like I'm using it in the sense that I'm trying to remove any type of resistance or disbelief in what it is, and so that's why I've made my own version.
yeah. Let's not do it for that reason. Let's change
Mm-hmm.
because you guys are all past the point of looking of looking at and digging into past things that don't serve you,
Mm-hmm.
but we have enough tools to just jump over them.
Correct.
And if you jump over them, they don't bother you anymore. I mean, it's just, so Ronnie's going in and out of confidence, but he's always out on the cutting edge, creating new opportunities. And I mean, frankly, he's jumping forward with leaps and bounds. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you can't.
Well, because one thing will lead to another, and especially if he's continuously
Exactly.
doing it every week. I mean, that's just even without the readings or anything else, it'll just continue coming. But so that's good as long as the momentum is there, because that's kind of I think one of the laws is momentum can go one way or the other as well.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Right. But it's more about really attacking that prime thing, the prime area that's blocking you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because with those lessons, as you go through life, you have these interpretations that it's the other people, but the truth of the matter is just you.
Mm-hmm.
It's your perception of what you saw, not what they were doing.
Well, actually, no. In my reality, they said how difficult it was because it was very difficult. It was just that's how Eastern Europeans are. They bitch and moan about it.
Uh-huh.
So it's all very, yeah. There's no like having a grand time. No. So
No, no, I certainly understand that, but you were already there.
mhm.
And you would have resigned yourself to the fact it was that way.
Well, because coming to America, how we came here and like with just a few $1,000s basically, and just like the stuff that I saw my parents go through, my mom working 3 jobs, and my dad working 2 jobs, and me working like whatever jobs since I was a small child, basically to support like my
Hmm.
education and everything. Man, it was all one struggle after another. So really, it wasn't even a perception of it. Waking up at 4 in the morning to deliver newspapers and then go to school and then do another job is not very fun when
Huh.
you're in middle
Hey,
school. So,
I hey, listen, you're talking to one of the best paper boys from Burlington, Vermont, you know.
yeah, it was quite good too. Yeah.
In the summers, we all had to work and give my mother money,
Hmm.
Oh, really?
right? Yeah. It wasn't as much that they needed it, but it was more for the lesson of us, paying towards our expenses, learning to do that more so than anything else. How about you, Ryan?
I've been working since I was 15, and I've been grinding at two jobs for the last 14 years, Valentine and my business since 2011. So somehow I managed to keep the fire going. That's what three kids and a wife will do for you. But yeah, I served ice cream. I delivered pizzas. I delivered cakes. I made pasta. I made raviolis. Uh, all that stuff. Yeah. I mean, I think there's something to that though, like work ethic and stuff like that. I think there's something to
Uh-huh.
learn there. But, yeah, I'm with you guys.
Yeah. How, by the way, Ryan, what else do you have to say about this, Stas, before I get off from that? What are you getting from it?
Um, I'm getting I need to get into that momentum, I think, and that's where I'm
Yeah, amp
slipping
it
into
up.
already. That's
Hmm.
that's really what it is, and not to question it, not to get in my own way. I mean, yesterday even I was well, the past 2 days I've been really depressed, frankly, and it's just stuff just was
Mm.
hitting me left and right, and part of it was because of the cat dying and it triggering kind of all the lost feelings that I had before from not only my pets but
Sure.
also from my
Hmm.
partner, and it just went all the way back to the old country, like when I was losing
Yeah.
people there during college. I mean, I think I saw death more than most. So, and so it just kind of really triggered me. And then I had to be strong for my partner. And that kind of, I'm like, okay, I know what this is. I need to set it aside. Whatever I have, I'll deal with it later. Right now, we're doing this. So now it's just past 2 days have been just debilitating. Uh,
Hmm.
and, I said to myself, this is just treat it as a cold. This is just a cold. It'll pass. Don't
Yeah.
get stuck on it. Take some medication, so to speak, but like just take care of yourself for the few days and just get back in it. And that's what I intend to do.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. What's coming to me, what would be a good exercise for you would be to sit down in the morning, Stanford, take those words, especially the words beneath your divine gifts, uh, under what I'm trying to remember what your divine gifts were. Let me take a look here. But you take those words and write 10 sentences, 10 new sentences every day that are affirmations that really speak out to crushing, to jumping over those disbeliefs.
Mhm.
Let me pull that up here. 1 second. Oh, there's your empowerment. Yeah, divine power. There it is. Divine creation and authentic
I stop right
self-expression.
here.
So, so the two, Stanford, uh, I think the areas that you're most challenged, okay? Number one is with divine power, and that's just about choice. Because when you make a choice and you put your energy behind it, it happens. That's the way divine power is, like an ass kicking gift.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And that's how it feels when something goes, it goes, and that's kind of the beauty of it.
Uh, it's amazing, so the words are power, empowered, powerful, action, catalyst, choice, responsibility, tools. See, now tools that's a great word for you because you're working with tools. Like that's something that you're very connected to energetically, that you're not blocked in.
Yeah.
Possibilities. Let's look at these that are words that aren't that are part of your block. Okay. Power is,
Mhm.
empowered is. It's interesting. Powerful isn't,
Mhm.
because you recognize that you're powerful, right?
Yep.
But you're not empowered.
Nope.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Action that's okay for you. Catalyst is a word um, that I'd love to have you get more connected with,
Mhm.
because then you would be a catalyst for your own energy.
Well, it'll
I
catalyze
think,
the empowerment. Catalyze.
yeah, well, exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
uh, um, choice, choice you're okay with.
Mhm.
Responsibility you're good with. Tools you're good with. Possibilities you're weak on.
Mhm.
Freedom you're good with, because you enjoy a sense of freedom as you've come to America compared to the way you used to live.
Mhm.
So you would recognize that much more. Energy is another word that you would be good with. Momentum is something that you really want. Momentum and catalyst, right? My momentum is building as I remain a catalyst to take better actions. I mean, that's a really, see how easy it is to throw together
Mhm.
powerful statements for yourself.
Mhm.
Uh, manifesting, manifesting is a word you're deceiving yourself on.
Mhm.
And the reason I say that is because you thoroughly understand what manifesting is, but you're dicking around and not doing it.
Yep.
Right? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, you get it,
Mhm.
you know it. All you got to do is put this energy. You make the choice and you'll manifest. Um, Unleash is another word. You want to unleash your momentum. You take these words and start playing with them. Transform is a word that I think you're good with, and create is a word that you're very good with. So there's 5 or 6 of them in there, and play with those and make some sentences and pump it up. The other area, um, your middle gift is divine creation, and you're okay there. Um, that's I wouldn't be concerned about that. But your lowest gift, which is authentic self-expression, is you need to combine this authentic self-expression with these words to create the momentum that you're looking for,
Mhm.
right? And so, in that, I think all of these you can be stronger on. Let me say: express, teach, write, understand, discover, perspective, ideas. Self-expression is one that you really want to strengthen, and this self-expression has to do with creating these affirmations using these words, and find out secrets and mysteries. So there's a lot of these that but you're not connecting with them energetically.
Mhm. Yep. They're not, it's like it's not, and not everything is firing as it should be, kind of.
Yeah. and
Yeah.
and if you'll just take those words um from both of those gifts and just write some sentences, you just make them up.
Mhm.
You can't make them up wrong, but as you do it, you'll be pumping the energy.
Yep. Right.
How does that sound to you guys, Ronnie and Ryan?
I don't know. I'm just listening. I don't know. I don't really. Yeah, I don't know. Just listening.
How's it landing with you, though? Are you getting it?
Yeah. Honestly, I'm a little bit distracted, to be honest with you. These calls are tough for me now because it's the middle of my workday, and so I keep on getting emails and chats from my team, and so I'm trying to not be distracted. But uh, hard. So I'm listening though.
Ronnie, how about you?
Yeah, I totally agree with everything you said. Play with it. And one thing I'll just add is like it's our birthright, you know? Um like you told us when we signed up with this, like this is like who we are, right? So
Yeah.
it's not just saying it, but really, really believing in it. And hopefully I could show that those words really show up in real time. Like I love the word tangible as well. So, you know, experience, like, yeah, like Bill said, play with it. I completely agree. And if you believe in it, it'll show up in real time.
Yeah, see, the word tangible would be more important to you than it is to Stanford
Mhm.
because you're about confidence and creation, Ronnie.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Right. So if when it's tangible, it means it's appearing. It's out of your head and it's in physical form.
Yes.
And Stanford doesn't have an issue with that. Right, Stanford?
Yep.
Right. You see how that lands? You see the difference in the energy behind these?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's literally that simple. I mean, and we're watching Ronnie do it. And it's like I want to see who can pull out and pull off the grand poo-poo here with the, like, wow, it's something really big. Let's have something crazy show up. There's nothing, there's nothing stopping us. And
Mhm.
you just see how simple it is, Stanford, the way it happened today with just because you made contact with that person.
Yeah. Now I have to buy him some kind of whiskey or something.
Yeah, after you get the account. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to get that and get a retainer going and then get a bunch of other things. It's just, yeah, and this is a big deal actually. If I get this company to sign on with me, they were partly
When they
funded
sign
by,
on with you.
well, they were oh yeah, well, when they sign on with me. They're
Yeah, own
part of
it.
this group. I don't know if you guys know Y Combinator, what that is.
No.
It's like I would say it's a funding and other type of think tank around in the Bay Area when it comes to technology and tech startups. And so they train people how to be startup founders, and then they also provide funds for new startups. And if I get into the circle, this would like
Yeah.
really make it happen
This
for
is
Y
and this
Combinator,
is
you
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
That's a big one. That's huge.
yep. So if
Huge.
I get into Y Combinator group, that would be crazy because what they do is when they engage various CEOs and founders, they suggest certain tool sets, certain services, certain people. So if I get into that, that'd be great.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
well,
huge.
this is the way it works. Yeah. This is exactly the way the energy works. It's always an expansion,
That's
Hmm.
Paul
always
Graham,
about
right? Paul
Hmm.
Graham? Is that? Yeah. Okay.
Hey
Oh,
Ryan, I wanted to check in with you about um how you're feeling and where you're at with the conversation we had around your brother last week.
Um. Um. My. Did I tell you that his wife is pregnant?
Yes,
I did. Okay.
you told
Jeez, I'm
us
like,
about the pregnancy photo she sent out with her
oh, boobs.
bosoms budgeting.
Yeah. 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 Those were. Yes, they were out and about, going for a walk. Um. So I've been kind of keeping my distance with him. It's easy when you work remotely because I barely see him. We're going through a little bit of a slow period right now, um, and that's probably going to put more pressure on me from him because he's got just an enormous amount of overhead now. Not that I don't, but now he's joining the party, and so I really haven't been talking. the niche that we're in manufacturing, it's just very sensitive to the current economic climate with all the Trump bullshit.
Yeah.
And so, we've got our second biggest client that their CEO is coming down on us to justify our worth and all that stuff. Well, stuff that normally would never happen. But when people feel pressure, they put pressure on marketing. And so I've been kind of keeping my distance from him a little bit and just focusing on what I can control.
Good.
We just hired a business development person to work with me part-time. She's like a rock star that we used to work with at a different company, and she got laid off because of the economy, and I gobbled her up at least on a part-time basis. So I've been training her, and I think she's going to be, me and her are going to be like Batman and Robin. Hopefully I'm
So
Batman.
what's she going to do for you?
She's going to be setting appointments. And she's so hungry and organized, and she's like whipping me into shape. And so that's been a new development over the last week. So I'm kind of just focusing on that and not
Good.
focusing on Scott's negativity and his big-breasted wife that wants all stuff.
How are you compensating her?
I mean, she's very, very part-time right now, but I'm hoping to make her full-time. So right now she gets a small monthly base plus a per appointment set commission, and she's very happy with that. I mean, the goal is to make her full-time and then get her into the print side of the business as well, because she's like a tank. So I'm really excited. So that opportunity came out of nowhere. Like, we've kept in touch since she used to work at a different agency that we outsource stuff to. She was like our best account manager ever. And then we parted ways with that company, but I always kept in touch with her. And then she got laid off, and she reached out and it's like, hey, let's jump on a call. And I'm like, perfect. Let's give you some work and maybe we'll make you full time. And so that's where we're at now. So that kind of came out of nowhere. It was like a gift from God.
And so you're using her part-time right now?
Part time, just very part time. But my part, you know what? It's like so Scott said no to it because he's very cheap, and he's like, oh, we're not getting new clients right now, and blah 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 blah. We gotta be careful. We're spending all this money on the print side. I'm like,
Yeah,
well,
but this is business development.
I know. So I was like, well, I'm not gonna take no for an answer. So what would it take to get a yes? And so I said, let's just start her at the most minimal amount, and I'll pay for some of it. I have to. And so I struck out.
Yeah.
I worked up a deal where they all agreed. So I got the yes. I wasn't gonna take no, and knowing that if I get her foot in the door, once she starts getting results, then it'll be a no brainer. So that's where I'm at right now. She literally started a week ago. I've had 3 calls with her, and she's now off to the races starting next week.
Uh-huh. And how many appointments are you anticipating she'll set up for you?
Man, I don't know. I mean, a couple a week would be cool. I mean, I don't really know. I'm not sure. We've never used an in-house.
What is your
this.
capacity?
Well, my capacity's high. I mean, my capacity's high. I can handle a lot more.
What does that mean? Be more
like,
specific for me.
I mean, I don't have a set number of hours.
Can you take but can you do 2 appointments a day with people? I mean, how would you guys handle all that business?
Well, the business is different. Like me, in terms of my capacity for doing calls, I'll drop other things
That's
and take
easy.
the call. So I can, that's
Right.
easy. The work, that's a good question. I don't that. That'd be a good problem to have, but
Well, sure, always is.
But with Scott, like I kept him kind of keep my arm's length a little bit. He's
Well,
too
you want to
negative.
take a look. You want to take a look at the capacity for the company to take on business, because you've got a real. This is like, I love all this. This is right in line, Stanford, with what we were just talking about, right? Right. And the first thing that came to my mind is like, oh, Stanford, do you want to hire somebody to make some calls and set up appointments for you to get new clients? You got a woman here.
I need one.
Oh, yeah, that's a
Right?
great idea, man. She, and she's like a phone person. She's only 30,
great.
but she she'll dial to the heart's content. She doesn't care.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is, with it, Stanford is she'd get a small stipend for appointments, but she could get a piece of what you're charging on a monthly basis, a percentage of the revenue. Because that's what you want with a business development person is anybody I've ever gone in and done any work for, I've always worked on a percentage of the income that I brought in. That's it. I don't want a salary.
really?
I don't want a check. Oh yeah, I don't want a check. I want a percentage of what I generate, right? And depending upon what the situation is. So for instance, like when I worked with that farmer in Hawaii, his Noni farm, I ended up setting up a separate business that handled the farmers markets and made a really nice, generated a great income there. And his marketing, I was paying him for product, not his normal wholesale rate, but basically he had $100,000 a year marketing budget that it cost him before I got there. Once I started doing this, he was actually making $2,000 or $3,000 a month on his marketing because he was giving me product which I was paying for, but like because it was his farm, a bottle of the lotion cost him $2.50 to make, and I was paying him $7 for it. So he was actually making $4 on every product I sold. That was his marketing budget, because what we would do is train the people at the farmers markets. We'd have them come to his farm tour, then they'd come back to the States and just keep buying product from him. So there's a lot of different, and then on top of that, I got paid 10% of business growth quarterly. So whatever it grew, the base, he was doing about 400 grand a year when I got there. And when I left, the combination of everything, we were up to, let me see, somewhere, we were up to about 250,000 a month that I took him up to. I mean, we went from 400 grand up to almost 3 million.
I mean, we're not paying her that. We're paying her $30 an hour, and then $30 per booked appointment. So it's not a lot of money. I honestly, I think she, it's not, but we'll see.
Yeah. So one of the things you can do is by giving her a percentage of the revenue, as long as she's with you. Like that's a great hook. Because I mean, Stanford, is she, well, I just set another deal up with another client of mine. I helped him set it up. And he's doing marketing for franchises. And so this girl was working for this franchisor that he had been meeting with, and then he let her go. And then she came back to him and said, "Hey, I've got these clients that want marketing like what you're doing." And he's like, "Great." So we're giving her 20% of the revenue that she generates for him. And she currently we're putting a deal together with a guy he has a franchise for restrooms, portable restrooms that people use at events. And we're putting a deal together with that. And that's going to be, he has 35 franchisees right now that are going to be paying $600 a month. So it's going to generate about $25,000 a month revenue. And so she'll be making $5,000 a month doing nothing just because she made the introduction. Right. And my clients like, hey, yeah, I'll pay her that all day long. I'll pay it to her all day long for bringing clients in like that. So that's, that's thinking with expansion, and it's thinking with revenue. It's not about an expense. It's about, okay, you bring me revenue, paying, if I'm going to be paying you, that's different. But if I'm going to pay you a percentage of the revenue you bring in, now that's it's like, you're not out of pocket for any money.
I always know she works out, Stanford.
Okay.
Her name is Erin, and I don't have anything to share yet. She's going to start making calls next week. This week's been just training her and giving her everything she needs. But
Yeah, let me
I'm
know.
pretty
'Cause,
optimistic.
Yeah, let me know because I need to get an idea of like whom she's gonna call because I need to get a list of people. That's the difference.
Yeah, you need to give her a list. I mean, we got a database called lead411.com. It's
Mhm.
only $99 a month, $100 a month. So we gave her that. We gave her a tool called HeyReach, which connects to your HeyReach, which connects to your LinkedIn, so she can send out messages through that platform and that can access to your account. And then I obviously have other lists and databases and MailChimp email subscribers and all that we're giving her, so she can start diving into that data and start making calls.
Oh, interesting.
We'll see how it
I did
goes.
not
Yeah.
know about Hayreach.
I'd even be interested in talking to her to do because I want to do some corporate training.
Yeah, I mean, I
Have her
think she'll make a
call it,
business out of it.
huh?
I think she'll make a business out of it. Like, I would love to hire her full time right now, but I just don't have. I don't have the buy-in from my brothers
No,
and my
I
uncle.
understand,
So
uh, but I'm still buried with some stuff right now, but in another month or so, I'll open this conversation up with you again because I could use her for corporate training.
yeah,
That
I'll
would
let you know how
be,
she does.
uh, you see where the opportunities are, guys? You see how it works? It's like,
I mean, yeah. This was like came out of nowhere. It's like
yeah,
it's
exactly.
a gift.
So
Yeah.
but the thing about it is, it's about expansion. It's about going for more, right? Like this is very proactive. What are you thinking of this, Ronnie? Ronnie wants a piece of
Impossible.
it too.
Ronnie doesn't need it. He's getting his own speaking gigs.
Yeah, no, that sounds amazing. It's giving me ideas. Just listening to Ryan and you guys about how to generate more leads, how to have like a system, and yeah, it's good
Yeah,
to hear.
yeah. I mean, that's the way it works, you know?
So that's what I'm
That,
focusing on. Not Scott necessarily, just focusing on my output. I've got a bunch of calls scheduled. I got Aaron I'm training. So, I'm not really worried about Scott. Uh like Jamie said, not letting him influence me, just focusing on myself, my family,
well,
my output,
I was just going
all
to say
that.
that. Yeah. You, you, you are in fact focusing on him by staying away from him.
Oh,
You're, ma- you're making a
yeah, that's true.
conscious choice to stay away, right? Because
I'm
it'll
not
improve
staying
your day.
away. I'm not staying away. I'm
Well,
just not making an effort to reach out to him. It's easy when you work from home. I don't have to
the
speak to
same
him.
thing.
Yeah.
But you see, there's nothing wrong. Listen, there's nothing wrong with that. You see that the difference is, Ryan, you're not doing it with anger or envy or anything else. You're just making a choice that serves you best.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah.
So
Oh,
this isn't
100%.
wrong. You're still speaking to him, but you're minimizing it, and here you're like totally going against the grain as far as he's concerned.
Yeah, because he was like, well, why can't you do that stuff? I was like, I can, but typically in big companies like Salesforce, and not that we're a big company, but they have setters and they have closers. Same person
Yeah,
typically doesn't do both because it's two different skill sets, and it only it minimizes your results, and so that's what I'm trying to replicate on a very small scale to show him what I'm talking about. He's very
yeah.
I don't know.
When I had my office products company when I was really young, um, I had a couple of my brother-in-laws working for me and so on, but when they would go out and take orders from customers for office products and stuff, and they had dictation units, and they'd come back and they'd drop the tape off. I wouldn't let them write their orders up. It's like, no, I don't want you sitting in here writing orders. I want you to drop them off. I'll pay somebody to write your orders up for you. You guys go back out and sell something else or go play golf. I don't give a shit what you do. I just want you to go, okay, this is cool.
Yeah,
This like, right?
that's
This is
smart. That's really smart.
yeah, yeah. It's like if you're in the office, you're not making any money. So
That's so true.
Yeah, back in those days, I mean, there was no internet, none of that. Jamie, how are you? You popped in here. You haven't got your camera on yet. I
I
don't know if
mean,
you can put it on. Jamie popped in a little bit ago.
now Jamie's here. I want to tell you guys I got my second session last night with tattoo.
Oh,
Man, it was a fucking long day. I had to go home till 11:15, and then I couldn't sleep last night because my adrenaline from getting traumatized for 4 hours in my arm. But I got my second session done, and it went well. I mean, I would say overall I did pretty good. The wrist hurt like a mother, but I was able to handle it. And yeah, my whole arm now is. I have my trunk because it's kind of cold, but my whole arm is now inked up. Not shaded in, not done yet, but the whole outline and the whole arm is done. I have a
wow. Can't wait to
cross.
see it.
Ronnie, you'll appreciate that. I have a cross in the bottom of my bicep. I've got something in my forearm that represents the road trip. I've got the girl's name, my wife's name, the birth flowers, a bunch of patterns and shapes and Polynesian and all that stuff, biometric type stuff, and it's starting to come together. And it's really been interesting. I was thinking about it. I don't know what the lesson here is, but it's been an interesting year between the house and the tattoo, really stretching what I think is possible. And I know the tattoo thing doesn't sound like anything, but when you've got like 6 sessions, and it's like not easy to sit there.
That's a
and
big deal. Are you kidding? That's a really big deal.
Yeah, commit to it. It's like, man, oh man. And then the house. So what an interesting year it's been. And I'm excited,
Yeah.
I'll show you guys.
All right, Ronnie. We'll see you next week. Ronnie's got to jump. He's doing something with family members.
Bye,
Yeah,
Ronnie.
I think I have to jump too because I just got a call. I mean, a message that I need to call that client.
Oh, nice.
So we'll see.
Oh, why? Yeah, just shut off your, don't leave us. Just shut off your video and sound and call them and then come back on. You can tell us what happened.
Okay, yeah, if it doesn't take so long.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, I'll do
Yeah,
that.
because
Good luck.
we want to hear. Yeah, we want to hear. Yeah. Hey,
Okay.
Jamie, can you put your video on? I
He's
love
listening.
Ryan.
Hey.
There he is. Ryan, I love the energy around your tattoo. Could you feel the energy building when you were talking about that? It was really cool.
I just never thought I would do it. Ah, fucking hurts though. It's so sore because it was literally last night. Let me I'm rolling up my sweatshirt, but you really can't like I don't know if you can see, but
Yeah.
it's like I can't believe I did it.
Arm?
Yeah, it's you know what hurt the most, Jamie? Well, the wrist hurt the most. It was like, oh my God.
On the wrist by the bone.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was like she was like, stop moving your arm. And I was like, it fucking hurts. I can't help it, And but I survived and I was like proud of myself when I left,
Did you get under your arm? Up here? Or
I did. Yeah.
That-
I wish I had a switcher on.
yeah, that's
Yeah, right here.
tender
like
too.
right there?
Yeah. That's a tender spot.
Honestly, that wasn't that for some reason wasn't that bad for me. It was the wrist and it was the inner forearm, like right
Interesting.
there. I don't know why, but it's so sensitive.
Nice.
How are you doing, Jamie?
I'm doing good. Yeah, I was on a call, so and it just got off, so I haven't heard much, but I'm good. I'm good. My feet are a little sore.
We had a very invigorating conversation around generating more energy and looking at the words and the power words to use and doing affirmations and such.
Oh, cool.
And so when the recording comes out, you want to listen to it. The beginning of this, it was really good.
Yeah.
Really good stuff. But I wanted to ask you last week, right when you got off, you talked about, you made mention to coming in with more specifics. And did you give any more thought to that?
Well, I just have to think about like, depends on like the subject, but I think it's just a matter of like speaking and being more specific, thinking more specifically
Yeah,
when
right.
talking about this stuff and not theorizing so much.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So
A-
I'm just
And
trying to try to do that
how is
more.
that working for you?
No, I mean, I was just talking about on the call. Um, I haven't applied that outside of the call, I guess, if that's what you're asking. But yeah,
Yeah.
I should. I think, have I
What do
been?
you think the
Yeah.
importance is of that?
Just the clarity and commitment to what you're saying and understanding and also communicating to the outer world, whether it's other people or, just the universe in general.
When you speak of these specifics, what is it you're talking to? Are you talking about specifics in moving more into your energy, or specifics about things that are holding you from the energy?
I'm talking about specifics in details like events or like applying the physical to the non-physical.
So make up an example for me so I understand what you're saying.
Like when I was out walking my dog, this person ran into me and they said this and I responded like this. So like that's like more like specifics
That
and
have taken place
yeah, and being specific about like just being clear on numbers and stuff and not just speaking out of
generically. Yeah.
the like speaking universally.
Generalities.
Generalities, yeah, exactly. So
Yeah, that's very important, especially with the thing, whichever direction you go, whether you're speaking about something blocking you. It was like last week we talked about Ryan and his brother and some real specifics of what was going on there, right? And just because that was discussed, these are not as big an issue anymore for
mm,
Ryan. Would you agree with that, Ryan? Just because you talked about them? You're muted.
That's weird. I didn't mute myself. That is true. Yes.
When it really, it when you speak specifically, it does two things. When you're talking about negatives or things blocking you, it really takes the sting and the power out of it. And when you're speaking about specifics in learning to expand, like we talked at the beginning of the conversation, it takes you into a higher energies, into more vibration. And that's a really great exercise for you, Jamie, without a doubt. The more you
yeah,
do it, the more you do it, uh, you'll find yourself speaking less, and you'll be speaking with more clarity, Jamie.
that's good. Yeah, I've like it's certain things, like for instance, if there's like a bill or something that I've been like for example, like my car insurance. I had like I wasn't sure what was going on with it, and I kept thinking about it, and I was like, I have to call because it was the only way to do it. I couldn't really like access it online and figure all that out. I was just like, I have to call them and just get clarity on like what I'm paying, when my bill is, what's going on. And I kept thinking to myself, oh, do I even have car insurance? Like, I mean, like, what's going on? I need to call them. I need to call them. And I was putting it off because it was turning into such like this weight and thinking I might owe them $1,600 or something like that. So, and this was like last week or something, but stuff like that, like getting clarity and being specific, and like Ryan, you just talking about it or just bringing it into the physical and out. And then, so just like it took a 5-minute call, and then it was like a small payment, and I was back on track, and then that was it. And so, yeah, I'm trying to like be
It,
if there's anything like building on me, it's just facing it and then being clear on what it is and just getting more clarity
yeah,
on it. Yeah.
those create energetic cords. Do you know what energetic cords are?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we talked about that. Yeah.
What are they?
It's a weight that pulls on you.
Sucks your energy.
It sucks. Yeah, it sucks all your energy out of you. Yeah, it's like cords connected to you, sucking your energy where you need to
So even Ryan, with just
cut them.
wanting to talk about his brother, was indicative of, hey, this thing is drawing on me.
For sure.
Let's talk about it so you have a better handle on it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's good to talk about it. And just, that's why I do therapy in addition to this, because it's just nice to be able to talk about things and just get it out, you know?
It really, it's all about the energy. I keep saying it, but it's so true. The energy, you're things are either sucking energy out of you or giving you energy. And you just, and when we work on those affirmations like we were talking about at the beginning, you're jumping over all of that and really building up a big energy that it gets you more grounded, keeps you more connected to everything, so to speak.
Yeah, and communication is so huge. Like I had a talk with Stevie the other night about like a big talk about like figuring out how I was communicating when it comes to like timing or things I'm doing, and not and just being like a little bit more like on point. Not to say that it needs to be a certain way, but it just needs to be like more direct and clear. Like if I'm like, oh, something's gonna take me, just being clear about how long something's gonna take me to do, or to pick her up, or whatever is going on. That it just needs to be just said in like a straightforward, honest manner, not like, oh, I'm on my way. Like that doesn't mean anything. It's much clearer to be like, I will be there.
Boy,
in
that's so true.
12 minutes, because on my way, and then an hour goes by and I like, oh no, but I was busy. You don't understand. I was on this call and I had to do this, and on my way, I just met. I'll be there. Like I'm not on my way, or I'm leaving soon. Stuff like that, and meanwhile, she's waiting and just thinking like, to do that to people, and she needs to be clear too and say how, when will you be here? What time do you know? So stuff like that is so important. It's like so crazy important. And then I'm like, yeah, you got to do it with everybody, not just like your significant other.
And that's how you claim your power.
Yeah, they can have a problem with it, but that's not your problem. Your problem
right.
is being clear about what is. Yeah.
That's
yes. And on the other hand, though, Jamie, it also could indicate that things need to be discussed further ahead to make sure that everybody feels safe. Right? So as you see that and it's happening, if you're speaking about picking Stevie up for work, for instance, on Sunday, you guys could do your schedule and lay down what time she needs to, so you're more locked into it. There's things that you will naturally improve on it and make it stronger because the power feels so good. What were you going to say, Ryan?
I was going to say, first off, unrelated, but Jamie, I love your wife's name. I wish I had named I kind of did. My daughter's name is Eve, and we call her Evie, but I love the name Stevie. I wish I had thought of that. It's such a badass name. So it's unrelated, but I was thinking about it. But I was thinking about, when you asked me before, you asked me a question, and I was distracted because I was getting chats from my team, which is why I went for a walk just to get myself away from that. But I was like, I give you like a general answer, And then I was like, I'll be more specific. No, I'm distracted. I'm really not listening. I'm getting distracted. And so I was more specific to your answer, to your question, and then it made me feel better, and it clarified things, even though it probably wasn't what you wanted to hear. So I think, yeah, being more specific is good.
Yeah, well, it isn't about no, it's just about the clarity. The other
Yeah.
day, um, I rented a space here at this RV park for the year. And I know it's coming up in May sometime, but I wasn't sure of the dates, and I was so buried doing creating this new peak potential blueprint program, which I'm now done with, thank God. But I was so busy with it. And the other day I ran out to Starbucks to get some coffee and came back, and I have a pass I have to show when I go through the gate, and they give it to me every month. And one of the things here is, even though I rented the space for a year, I'm only allowed to use it so many days because the city doesn't want full-time residents living in the RV park. So anyway, I showed him my pass the other day, and on the back of it, my pass currently goes to March 31st. And on the back of it, it said, I have 18 days left that I can stay here after March 31st. And man, I saw that. And it's kind of like you talked about the insurance a bit, Jamie. I just went into this total, complete fear storm. I mean, flipping out. Of course, I've been not well grounded working on this course because that's really, really taxed me to a point that further than I've ever been in my life and doing a big project. But so I took, that must have been on Monday. So I took Tuesday afternoon. I did some things Tuesday morning, but then I said, okay, well, I've got to figure out my schedule and what I'm going to, because I haven't sold my RV. What am I going to do with my RV? And so I started looking into other alternatives and all the different things I could do. And I got everything resolved that afternoon. So I completely just went in and shattered the fear I had, because it was like, God, it's the 20th. I've got 11 days in the month. And then after that, I've got 2.5 weeks I can be here, and that's it. So I made adjustments and made plans and have adjusted my schedule accordingly. And I've been so busy and just sitting here. Just the thought of moving around again is a big deal for me because I haven't had to do it for a while. But I just stopped and took the time to get all the answers and the clarity that I needed. And it just eliminated all the fear. And I've got some great options now, and a couple more things I got to check into.
Why isn't
But
it selling, Bill? Why isn't the RV selling?
I haven't been putting the right energy into it, Brian. It's real simple. It's
Do you
I've
have a
got
listing for it where it's for sale? Like a link you could send?
I've got a half-ass listing at RV Trader. I just haven't done that much with it, honestly. And in fact, I was I decided to work on it today, and I listed it another place, and then I went in and I put it in Facebook Marketplace, and then I got kicked out of there. They said I was being deceitful, and I've been banned from Facebook Marketplace.
That's weird. What
I
did
have
you
no
say?
idea what I have no idea what I did that would have caused that, but it had something to do not with what I had written, but I think the way I was in there trying to figure out how it worked. I don't know. And then I took an hour and I tried to figure out how to get in touch with them to straighten it out, and it was just too fucking confusing, and I stopped. I mean, I'm like, okay, well, screw that. That's like, I can't even send an email to anybody. They kept sending me in these support loops through the website, and I just said, oh, I've got other stuff to do. I can't deal with this. It's too frustrating. So
Okay.
I'm actually, I've got a couple of months to work on getting it sold. And now that I've got this program created and taken care of, I'm going to tomorrow morning I'll get up and work on that again. I'll work on it every day this week. I mean, I do have a for sale sign on it, and we'll just see. If it sells, it
If you
does. If
send
it
me the
does,
link, if you send me the link, Bill, sorry to cut you off. If you send me the link, I have no idea if this will work, but the other mastermind I used to be part of, for some reason, there's like a shit ton of RVers in there. I don't know why. It's like they're very like Christian organizations, so a lot of them, what's the word? They homeschool their kids and they drive around in RVs. I'm not sure why that is, but there's a lot. I can give it. I'm not part of the group anymore because
oh
I'm with you
really?
guys, but I
Yeah,
can chat. I can
interesting.
text to some of the guys in there if you have the link, I don't know what it'll do, but just
Yeah,
another possibility, you know?
I did. I was able, which I really loved using Chat GPT to get some really printouts of good information about my RV.
Yeah.
Um, and the actual value of it is between 118 and 140. The
Hmm.
high
Okay.
private party retail is 140,000.
Hmm.
And the low is 118, and I'm asking 120. And that includes a tow dolly and my Starlink system. So,
You owe
uh,
money on it? Or
oh
is it paid
yeah,
off?
yeah. No, no,
Okay.
I know I owe 115 on it.
Okay. So it's not really a
Uh,
money thing for you. It's more just releasing it and moving on to something
yeah,
different.
yeah. I'm just not going to have it anymore. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then again, it's like I checked, and if I don't sell it, I've got a place I'm going to put it in storage for the summer, over in Hemet, and I've got a place where I can store it for $100 a month. And then I can live in it again next winter, and I'll sell it then. Frankly, I think the value of it's going to continue to go up. It has a couple of unique characteristics. It's a Tiffin, which is the high end of the middle line of RVs. When you go above Tiffin, then you're going into 700-800 million-dollar RVs, coaches.
Wow.
Uh, like this coach knew sell by Tiffin is 250 to 300 today, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a really nice coach. So you know, it'll work out. No, it's totally, it's been my lack of handling it in a manner to really get it sold. 100%.
What do you think the block is there? Do you think there's a party that doesn't want to sell it?
Um, the block, it has been really the transition I'm in my business is
Okay.
feels more is more important to me than handling the RV.
Makes sense.
Right. So, and again, I I built my website. I just got that course done, and that course was 3 weeks. I was off the planet. It was so insane. Uh, it was nuts I mean, I did 30, 15-minute videos with, I had to create the outlines for them, the teleprompters, record them, edit them, and then do all the questions and answers. Did you, Jamie, by the way, see those questions I sent you? You're muted.
Yeah, I read through them a little bit on the go. But I have to I realize I have to really sit down and open them up because they're doc files, and yeah.
They're pretty intense though, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not, yeah, I had to think about it. Yeah, I had to
Yeah,
do the
once
work.
what's that?
There was work involved in there. Yeah. Like true, false. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's
But they're
yeah, that's for 30 lessons. And once I've got that set up, I'm going to give you guys access to it because I want to go through, and then as you guys go through it, you can kind of edit it and let me know of things that need to be changed. This course is pretty amazing though. Really amazing. Like the questions and the answers and what's covered in the course. Real real good grounding information that will help you tap into your potential. It's pretty cool, actually. It's pretty exciting. It's a real legitimate course. Like the answers are, there's 4 true and false for every 15-minute video, and then 2 essay questions. And the essay questions are pretty wild because I've been using Chat GPT and now it really knows how I think. And so they're getting in fact, I'll show you one. Let me find one here. So
your cheese is still back here.
So this is on a section. This is from section 2. It's about energy. Okay. So here are the questions. Oh, it's spelled wrong.
Oh, we blow it up a little bit, Dan?
I can kind of read it. Can I zoom in on Zoom? I can zoom on this. Oh, that's cool. True, false.
So this is the answer sheet. I haven't got the question. So the first question is, potential energy is energy in motion. Is true, false? What do you think? You can probably see the answer.
I was gonna say false. I could see it because potential is not current.
Right.
It's
stored energy. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not energy in motion. Kinetic energy is energy in motion. See, you don't see the multiple choice, so we can't do that one. According to Bill Heinrich, our greatest asset is our ability to reason logically.
Well, logically is using your mind, using your head.
Small. Yeah, very good. Yeah. While logical reasoning is valuable, Heinrich's work emphasizes the importance of mindset, beliefs, and emotional intelligence. And the other one is multiple choice. But here's the essays. Explain the concept of energy conversion as it relates to personal transformation. How do our beliefs and stories play a role in that process? So I'll give you a hint, Ryan. This is what we were talking in the beginning about, is energy conversion at the beginning of the coaching session today, right? So the answer, when discussing energy conversion in the context of personal transformation, we're moving beyond the strict physics definition and into the realm where psychological and emotional energies are considered. And here's a breakdown. The concept of energy conversion and personal transformation, shifting internal states. Energy refers to our emotional, mental, and spiritual state. Energy conversion is the process of transforming negative, limiting, or stagnant energies into positive, empowering, dynamic ones. See, we were doing that at the beginning, right, Ryan?
Mm-hmm. Yes, for Stanford.
Yeah, exactly. It involves changing things like fear into courage, negativity into optimism.
Mm-hmm.
Then it talks about the transformation of psychological energy. This is just the answer to the first essay question. Then the role and beliefs of stories, how beliefs are energy filters. They shape how you perceive and experience the world. Stories as energy narratives. The stories we tell ourselves about our lives create our personal narratives. And these narratives affect our emotional state.
What's your goal with this? What are you selling the course, Bill, or are you going to use that as okay.
I'm both. To begin with, I'm going to use it. I'm actually just going to use it for coaching. Because it takes a totally different approach because I'm coming from the physical side.
Okay.
And then the second one is explain the importance of understanding and aligning with universal laws in the context of personal transformation. How do they help you?
Mm.
You know, they establish a foundation for growth, promoting harmony and balance, enhancing personal empowerment, facilitating effective navigation of life changes. So, I mean, this is one answer session, uh, one answer guideline just for one of the videos, and there's 30 of them.
Wow. Oh wow. How much you selling the course for?
I don't know.
And then
I
you're gonna
don't think
use it as a way.
I don't think I'm
Oh,
going to
good.
sell it individually to begin with. I think
Okay.
I'm just going to use it in coaching.
Oh, I see.
But if I did sell it, if I was going to sell it right now, it'd be $2,000.
2000. All right, and then you'll use that
Yeah.
as a way to get people into the group.
No,
Like it's next.
I'm not going to sell it now. No, I'm going to just use it more for teaching because
Okay.
it's a different. Like I've always coached and worked with people in a very it's a more of a boutique, very personal one-on-one setting, and this changes it more over into different structure. Like, and I learned that a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about the universal laws, and you guys don't really know the universal laws. So a lot of these things
Mm.
in the structure of it, it comes from a different place, but it's amazing. Just one section, just that section right there can change your life.
Hmm.
Like the information in
That's
it
cool.
is just, it's pretty intense.
That's cool.
Do you have any comments on it, Jamie?
No, I let's see. I like the fact that um it just makes me think of like education and like
Mm-hmm.
and how because I'm pretty heavy in that right now in that realm, but
Right.
it's really I love like the simplicity of having like a document and true false and also just like I don't know, just reading sentences and understanding them and understanding what things
Mm-hmm.
are and seeing it in that sort of outline format. Because right now there's like between YouTube and there's just like there's so much noise when it comes to education. So it's nice to like I don't know. I think there's something that's more substantial about having just like a sheet and having like a questionnaire and
Yeah.
how effective
Yeah.
that is, right? So, but as far
Uh-huh.
as like the stuff in there, um, it's really nice to see like some foundational science and stuff in black and white and writing based on what
Mm-hmm.
your this group is about and what your coaching is about and what
Mm-hmm.
like the fact that you have so much like you're getting so much clarity on that and then people get that foundation before like if we all
Right.
had if you're like no you need to like have taken the quiz or you need to have gone through not a certification but just some sort of like you can't be on the call unless you already know these things so you don't that's what it makes me think of so that we're all speaking the same language because we've done the
And
foundations and we
discussing them
know.
on the calls. Yeah.
Yes, and
Yeah.
there's not, and you don't have to repeat yourself. You also don't have to like. It's good to like sometimes refresh but yeah, you just it qualifies a little bit more to being in a coaching group, and it makes it a little more exclusive too. Of like, no, nobody can just because you have like money, you can't just like pay me to come in. You have to actually be part and a contributor and have some sort of
Uh-huh.
education before being on the calls.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the way I
Good.
feel about something like that.
Yeah. Well, Carl, my guy is finishing up loading it all up. So I may be able to release it to you guys next week to have you start going through it. The
How
videos are
long are the
15
videos,
minutes.
Bill? Oh, there
15
you
minutes
go.
is the longest.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. there's four videos. There's 7 sections. 6 of them have 4 videos, and the last one is just the wrap up. It's 2 10-minute videos.
Got it.
But the 6 sessions is with 4 videos. Each section is an hour. But the Q&A on it is pretty intensive. Like it's just, this isn't something you're just going to skip through real quick. Because there's so much just real valuable information, really valuable.
That sounds like a good length though. 30 videos, probably sounds like it's about 3 hours long, give or take. That's a good amount.
6.
I think sometimes 6 hours. Okay, yeah, 3 to 6. I mean, I see these courses that are like 25, 30 hours. I'm like, who the hell's going to sit through that thing? I mean, I guess if you're really serious,
Yeah.
but 25, 30 hours. I
Yeah,
would need
and
like
each of these, in fact, I'll show you
I think we might be looping back around to more long form and stuff that has more substance these days too, that you take your time and read and understand, and not
Yeah, I
just
heard that.
disposable like dopamine hits all day.
Yeah, Mr. Beast is changing to long form, right? Or something like that.
I just think the world is with AI is so fast that now it's like we want to like pick up a worksheet and
Yeah, yeah.
or just have
yeah,
something handwritten. Like, I don't know. I was thinking like,
yeah.
how cool would it be to I was thinking this morning, if you like wrote a book handwritten and no one's read it and you sell the book as an original book and there's only one copy. I think that'd
Oh,
be a
wow,
great business. That'd be a great business if
yeah.
you're a good writer, right? With AI, no, AI would actually make that so valuable because people can just write books. Like I can write
Geez,
a book right now, in 3
I
seconds.
like that a lot. That's really interesting, Jamie. That's like it's like an NFT, be a book.
Yeah, authentic. Yeah, authenticism, whatever. It's
Yeah,
valuable.
I
It's
love that.
becoming more and more valuable.
so here's the sections. Section 1 is about unlocking your power, and then the 4 videos in it. The first one is about your inner power. The second one is about mastering mindset. The third one is about my journey, and the fourth is clearing a path, creating a clear path forward. The second section is all about the power of belief. So section 1 is on power of perception. 2 is understanding energy. 3 is about survival, and 4 is about thriving.
Mhm.
And then section 3 is understanding energy, and it's how to create an energetic foundation, what universal energy is, and then the universal laws. There's only 3 videos in that section. 4 is about the 7 saboteurs. What they are is number 1. The root cause of them is 2. How to transform them, and then understanding your basic needs is in section 4. 5 is all about doing an accurate assessment, and that's the power of awareness, self-awareness, the power of intention and mindful manifestation. And then 6 is about the forgotten powers, our greatest asset, the illusion of limitation, accountability and responsibility, and living your purpose. And then seven's about the whole journey to there. And then number 1, number 2 is the path forward. And the next section of coaching I'm going to do is where that's where I'm going to start bringing in the divine gifts. That'll be my the next course I create. I don't know when I'll start that after doing this one.
Sorry.
But anyways, I'm really pleased with the way it's turned out. How's your school going, Jamie, before we get off?
It's going great. I mean, it's like, yeah, it's amazing. I had a call yesterday with over 20 people, which was in the premium. So so that's probably the biggest call I've done since I started it. Yeah. it's I've I shut down the advertising because of cash flow, and then because you know the payouts, everything has to settle. I just have to make sure I'm like, well, I mean, I don't really have a choice, which is great. And then but yeah, my numbers are like right now I'm super grateful. They're phenomenal. So I'm looking forward to like next round of advertising, and then
What numbers? Be a little more specific.
oh, the KPIs on my ads, my ROAS, my return on ad spend, and like the lifetime value. I need, like I said, I need my cost per acquisition is like $49, and I'm getting them at $5.50.
Your revenue per acquisition or cost?
My costs.
So I don't
So I need,
understand that.
so if yeah, so like I have my margins, like my net is like 95% net because it's just digital. You know, I don't really have any operating expenses. So it's $49 is on average what a new customer is worth, a new community member over
So
the
that's your
lifetime.
that's not your cost per acquisition. That's
No,
your
no, my cost per
revenue.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's my break even.
It's your lifetime value is 49 and they're costing you $5 is what you're saying. Is that
Yes.
it?
Yes. My cost per acquisition right now is at $5.50.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, but that's
Nine
also
nine times.
yeah, and but that's including like kind of averaging out the monthly recurring and the churn and all that at pretty conservatively
Uh-huh.
of how long they'll stay. So yeah, but mainly now it's just like building the infrastructure and just
What's your
dropping in a
growth?
ton of value.
What's your growth trajectory been with members?
Well, last week I put in 500
You
and
added
10.
five.
Yeah, I added 500 members and 10% of them upgraded to the $97
Converted.
a month. No, no, 500 conversions, 500 purchasers.
No kidding.
So you
Yeah.
have 500. You have 500 members paying you.
Yeah.
Shit, a monthly fee.
Yes.
Oh wow.
And 10% of them upgraded to to a monthly fee that's what is it, like a 5 10, 20x what they paid to come in. So it's like yeah, so it's like a half of them pay for the annual. It's an annual fee, so it's still recurring, but it's annually. And then half of them take the monthly, and then 10% of those take the upgrade. So they're paying for both communities because I have a separate community that's the upgrade for live calls. So I don't have to do live calls on and really that community it's a cheaper community, but it's basically just to build my list with paid members instead of having like a free where you get a lot of freeloaders and whatnot to build your list. I'm not about that anymore. I'm just more like, I just want my list to be only people that have pulled out, that have actually swiped their cards. And that way I can, there's all the retargeting and all that, but I'm actually trying to I'm not trying to be crazy on marketing. I'm really just trying to, like, to be honest with you, like add value, like in the courses and the material, and make it that it's just like, that's the reason that they want to stay and not leave, is because, right? So that's been working really well instead of trying to run all the marketing tactics,
That's awesome.
Yeah, I've been learning a ton, and then and it's fun, it's creative, and now there's a lot of people that want to like help build a community, and it's crazy actually, because you can cherry pick people from all over the globe that are specific. When you get real specific on who your avatar is and in all the details about the type of person you want in the community, and you singularly focus, then Meta will just cherry pick those people from all over the globe, and they will, being specific about that is paid in the ad. You don't like tell them, get them interested, and then they get to the door and it costs money. You just say it right there. You say, this costs money, don't click unless you're ready to pay. And she'd be surprised how many people are ready right there to pay. That's just, so yeah. So yeah, you can really design the type of human you want to be in there, and then you give them that food that you've, somewhat promised and
Yeah.
built that trust. And it's just a big science project, really, but it's really cool. It's
Awesome.
So Ryan, what's
Yeah.
your read on his energy around this?
I think it's filling his cup. It's like I think it's checking off a lot of boxes, like teaching,
You can
learning,
feel it, can't you?
connecting.
Huh? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he's talking all he seems excited to talk about it. So
You can
that's
really
the
feel the
energy.
energy. It feels really good. Yeah, good call. Yeah.
My daughter
Is
is
that
here. We're gonna do a little
Yeah, we're over
daddy
anyway,
daughter.
so I've got to jump myself. But
Oh wow.
that's great, Jamie, and your energy around it's amazing. Like this is really good for you. So good for you.
Where are you?
Thanks. Yeah.
All right, Ryan, we'll talk to you next week.
Yeah, I'll be on. Okay, bye guys.
We'll see you then.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Take care, buddy. Bye-bye. All right, Jamie. Good
All
call.
right.
Listen
Yeah.
to the beginning of it.